So if you're a person that feels responsible for other people's behaviors and emotions, and you happen to like limes, then you're in for a treat today, because today I'm going to tell you about the let them theory, and we're going to be making Brazilian lemonade. So I've been wanting to make this recipe for such a long time, ever since I saw it go viral on Instagram. The recipe is really easy. All you need is 5 limes, lechera, sweetened condensed milk as other people say it, as other people call it, as it's most commonly known as. And I know you're wondering, like, why is it called lemonade? We're using limes. I get you. So I don't have an answer why they call it lemonade, but I did find out that the reason why it's called Brazilian lemonade was because it was created by the people of Brazil, but they call it Swiss lemonade because the lechera that they use is made by a Swiss company. Nestlé Toulouse. But I'm gonna call it Brazilian lemonade because that name actually goes very fitting with the topic of today, which is the let them theory. But before we get into that, I'm gonna wash these limes, cut these into quarters, and cut the butts off and the pith. Let's do this. So the first time I came across the let them theory was on TikTok. There was this creator who explained it so perfectly that I loved it, and I decided to make this video. But I know she wasn't the original creator, and I did want to give credit to the original creator, and I looked it up, and I think it was Mel Robbins, but I don't know. I didn't really like the way Mel Robbins explained. The let them theory is basically you letting go of feeling responsible for other people's behaviors and emotions. It's about letting go of control of how other people see you, value you, treat you. Where she was going with this was, as we all know, people don't like doing what they don't want to do. Do you like going to the gym when you don't feel like going? No. Do you eat healthy even though you know you should? It's the reason that we don't stop bad habits when we know we should, because we don't want to. At the end of the day, if somebody doesn't want to do something, they're not going to do it. If we prioritize our needs, our wants, and our desires. This is the pith. This is the white stuff that you would have to get rid of if you didn't want it to be really bitter. So when there is someone in our life that repeatedly criticizes us, mistreats us, makes us feel bad, after we've told them several times that we don't like it when they do that and we don't want it done to us, that's where the let them theory comes in. It doesn't mean let them continue doing it to us, but let them act how they want to act. Accept that this is who they are. Because if you've already made it known that you don't like being treated that way, you don't like being talked to that way, and they still do it, we know that regardless of what we say, they're gonna act like that anyway. So it's more of just accepting that this is who they are and coming to terms with it. So we got our limes in our blender. We have to add 1 quart of water, which I thought I had a quart, but I only have a cup. Hey Siri, how many ounces is 1 quart of water? 32. I need 2 of these. Oh. But now that we framed it in our minds that this is the person that they truly are, we can start emotionally distancing ourselves from their behavior. And now we'll be able to experience inner peace because we won't let their reactions emotionally affect us by not allowing us to get upset, sad, angry, or whatever the case, because it's not about us. It's never been about us. So now we're gonna blend this for 1 minute because from what I've read online, they say that if you blend it longer, it makes it more bitter. And plus, my babies are sleeping. I don't want to run this longer than I have to. So just 1 minute, maybe even just pulse it. Whoops. See, the green stuff is still there. You're supposed to disintegrate it just enough. So next, we're gonna strain it. Drain out all the little green bits out of it. Yum. Next, we're gonna give it a little pat. Get all of the juice out. Now that we got a clean blender, we're gonna put the lime juice back. It smells citrusy. So next I'm gonna open up the lechera because we're gonna mix that with the lime juice and then the ice, and then we're done. As I was saying, when we start emotionally distancing ourselves from people who treat us like this, it makes it a lot easier to not get disappointed when it does happen, because we would have already accepted that this is who they really are. There's a lot of ice. I don't know if it's all gonna fit in here. I still have like half a can left. Oh no! It was too much ice like I thought it was. We're almost done. All we gotta do is blend this, put it in a cup, and then we can finish our conversation. This time we're gonna actually just blend it until it's like perfectly smooth. Ooh, I think she's done. I'm trying to see if there's any ice, unblended ice. Son of a... Well. So I'm gonna put the rest in here, and whatever doesn't fit, I'm gonna drink. Yay! I have trypophobia, so this is very triggering right now. I've learned. Doesn't look like it's gonna close with the lid on, so I'm gonna pour some for me. Oh, I saw a chunk. One last thing. Told myself I was gonna do this. Yeah, she's so pretty. We did it. Finally, I have my Brazilian lemonade and it's so cute. Do you want some? Here, you give us it. Oh, it's 3 a.m. over there? I totally get it. It's the same over here. I'm so happy. Cheers. It's bitter. I'm so sad. Dang, I'm really disappointed. So have you ever had one of those limes where it's like really bitter or maybe even old and like it's not giving you the juiciness out of a lime that you would want? It kind of gives you like day old juiciness. I'm so sad. What the hell? The lechera didn't help it one bit. Oh my god. Dang. Well, that was disappointing. I couldn't even drink it for too long because I could already feel it like in the back of my throat just being like all puckered up. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So when a friend ignores us and doesn't invite us to places where our other friends are at, it makes it a little bit easier to not take it personally because this is who they are. And that's the type of friend that they are. And who wants a friend like that? Or when you have a sister who's constantly criticizing us and putting us down and making us feel bad, it makes it a lot easier to not be offended because this is who they are. And that says more about them than it does about you. And if you have a parent who's always trying to guilt you every time they call you up, trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do, it'll be a lot easier to say no because we've already accepted that this is who they are. They don't do this just with us, they do this with everyone. This is who they are. So when we finally truly understand this, that's when we become free. Free from believing that we can control how someone acts and behaves. Free from overthinking and worrying about where the relationship is going. Why? Because we've accepted the person for who they actually are and not who we want them to be. Now we have all the space in our mind to focus on ourselves and make the decisions that we want to make. We can finally understand that the only person we can control is ourselves. We control who has access to us, we control what we think, how we feel, and what we have to do to take care of ourselves. And yeah, I know if you're a highly sensitive person or you're an empath or you're just a people pleaser, this is a hard concept to wrap your head around because we always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? And to emotionally distance yourself from somebody or emotionally detach yourself from somebody seems like a very cruel, mean-spirited thing to do. We'll either feel guilty or selfish about doing this to somebody, especially someone that we love. But you have to understand and see that their behavior and how they've treated you all this time for what it actually is. We have to put ourselves first for once, and we have to honor and respect that we don't deserve to be treated this way. We have to maintain a healthy distance by emotionally detaching ourselves from the relationships that no longer serve us. And as the OG creator said in that TikTok video,
I used to be somebody who didn't understand or like detachment because I felt like detachment from somebody that I cared about meant that I didn't care about them or love them, but when really detachment is just giving yourself peace and understanding that though I do care about them, though I love them, at the end of the day, I have no power over anybody but myself, and I will allow them to do what they want to do, and I will be able to decide whether or not they're somebody that I can have in my life. And you detach from outcomes and expectations that you have on other people, knowing that people are always going to end up doing what they want to do, and they're going to show you at some point whether or not they are somebody that you want to have in your life.
This does not mean we don't love them or care about them. At the end of the day, we have no power over anybody but ourselves. But they can do what they want to do. And you get to decide whether or not there's somebody that you want to have in your life. As an eldest daughter of immigrant parents, this was so hard for me to do. I didn't think I'd ever have the balls to ever do this. I didn't think I'd ever have the courage to do this. At one point, I felt truly defeated when I realized that now that I'm a parent, my mom still didn't see me as a grown adult. She still saw me as a child that didn't know any better, not even know how to take care of my own kids. I truly felt that I was incapable of making my own judgments as a parent, and I always had to look to her for advice. I couldn't trust myself to be a parent. And when I realized that no matter how much I know, no matter what stage in my life I am, in her eyes, I'm never going to be good enough. I'm always going to need her. When I decided to set boundaries, something that I've never done, I explained to her which of her behaviors I found unacceptable, and I even cried my eyes out to her. I was begging her to understand how she made me feel. And when she dismissed everything I said and just continued to behave and act the same way, that's when I had to implement the let them theory. And I had to go no contact. I didn't know that's what it was called at the time, but when she saw me at my absolute lowest, and it didn't faze her one bit to consider changing her behavior, I had to realize that as much as I love her and I care for her and I appreciate everything that she's done for me, that doesn't make up for her current behavior today. And I had to respect myself more and prioritize myself for once, for the sake of my kids. So yeah, emotionally detaching myself from her was one of the hardest things I had ever done. But now that I finally see her for the person that she really is, it's easier to let go of trying to control her into being the mom I wanted her to be, and accept her for who she truly is. Now she's able to live freely, and so do I. I no longer have expectations of the people I surround myself with. I just have standards. Anyways, the reason I think that the Brazilian lemonade is perfect for this topic is because, just like the hidden narcissist in your life, they're both pretending to be something they're clearly not, and they also happen to be very bitter. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. Subscribe if you want a friend, and let me know if this theory opened your eyes like it did to me when I first heard it. Okay, bye.